how hard, so you obviously got here where you're very successful today, but for those people who feel, oh, Sid has it all, it was very easy for him, how hard was it, and what were some of the toughest times it took you to become successful today? Open up a little bit about maybe failures or whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, sure. And like success is not easy. It is simple. Sometimes if you follow a simple system, if you follow a mentor and do whatever they say, you can achieve success. But having said that, if success was easy, everyone would be successful. And there is a principle called the 80-20 rule. It's called the Pareto's principle, where 80% of the people will get results, 20% will get results. The bottom 80% will actually be grinding it. And if you look at any industry, any phase of life, like even in your own, let's say in your own schools, you would see that only the top 5 or top 20% will actually be, getting the results, and the rest of them are just hanging around. And the same applies everywhere. So this concept went into my head very deep in 2018 when I was learning from my mentor. And that's when I realized that I need to be in the top 5% of my game. I cannot afford to just be in the bottom 80%, which means that I had to shift a few patterns. Prior to this, I had all the knowledge, I had all the skills. I've been doing big campaigns for big names. Everything was looking great on the outside, but only I knew inside on how much money I was taking out of my company and how I was struggling to make ends meet. It was not reflecting in my bank account. So I've been through a lot of struggles at a point where I had to, my wife and I used to plan, and when we go shopping in the grocery store, we would decide on which groceries to buy so that we would have more money at the end of the month than there is month. Okay. So you would make those kind of decisions. Uh, and I'll tell you, today I'm truly blessed, but I know that feeling of not having money, or I know that feeling of not having enough. Like even if when my son was young, 1 or 2 years old, I would think twice before I could buy any toys for him, because if I make that purchase decision that month, then I won't be having much money at the end of the month.
Right.
But externally, everything was looking good. I was a co-founder of a company, running campaigns for Tony Robbins and all these big names. Yes, everything was looking very nice from the outside world, but I knew that pain inside. So it was tough, decisions on finances. There were tough conversations that I used to have with my wife, because a woman needs security.
Right.
And when a woman does not feel secure, it affects all aspects of life. And I've seen that. Vanita has, she's been my pillar of strength. But having said that, husband and wife, we've had some very tough conversations during those moments when there was tight cash flow, and it was a lot of resistance. A lot of friction, I would say. Okay, a lot of friction, and that was impacting all areas of life. It also impacted my health in 2015, because I was so stressed. I was overworking. I went through a panic attack. I could not sleep for 2 weeks because I was overworked and I was not taking care of myself. I was focusing so much on somehow making it happen. So what I learned later on is some of the big lessons that helped me break through in those 90 days were like 3 important lessons. The first lesson was, my mentor told me, he said, time is not your most valuable asset. He said, your focus is your most valuable asset. I started to focus all my energies on things that mattered the most. Like I unsubscribed from all email lists. I deleted all apps on my phone. In fact, on my phone right now, if I have to show you, I only have 4 applications on my phone. That's it. I don't have any social media apps, nothing. If I have to do anything on social media, I just go on my browser and check it out. Of course, Instagram I have, but I've removed the notifications. And I started to focus all my energy on building systems, on building products, on mastering the art. And that's what helped me, grow. So 3 things that he helped me with was, he told me, focus is your most valuable asset. He said, don't be cheap on your journey to greatness. If you want to be great, you got to make those investments. Invest in yourself, invest in your learnings, invest in tools, whatever it takes. And the third thing he said is, systems work, people fail. If people are let on their own, they are bound to fail. And that's how I was for a good 3 to 5 years before I got into this journey over here. And the day that I surrendered to my mentor and did exactly what he said, I'll tell you, surrender is, there's a deeper principle to this. I had a big ego before, because I've done campaigns for all these big names, And then I used to think, okay, I already know this. I know this. I know this. But I was not implementing it. And the day that I looked into my, when I went through my mentor's program and I said, okay, Vic, whatever you tell me, I'm just going to do that blindly. I'm not going to question whatever you say because he was getting results.
Right.
So when that surrender came in, when I dropped that ego, a new world started to open up. Like when my income grew by 5x, 10x within a very short span of time, the impact was much more. And I was really not focusing much on the result also. I was just focusing on the activity and focusing on what has to be done. So yeah, I hope that has answered your question.